How and why Muslims invaded Europe, the untold story. In just 7 years, a small Muslim army crossed the sea, defeated a kingdom 10 times its size, and changed Europe forever. But why did they invade? And how did they conquer Spain so fast? Today, we uncover the real history behind one of the most dramatic conquests ever recorded. How and why Muslims invaded Europe. The untold story of the conquest of Spain. In the year 711, a small Muslim army, only 7,000 men, crossed the sea into Europe. Within just 7 years, they defeated a kingdom 10 times their size, reshaped a continent, and built one of the greatest civilizations in history. But why did they invade Europe? And how did they conquer Spain so quickly? This is the real story behind the Muslim conquest of Europe. A story of betrayal, ambition, faith, and a fractured kingdom on the edge of collapse. Before the invasion of Spain, two very different worlds were forming. In the east, Islam had united Arabia into a single, powerful force. Within decades, the Rashidun and Umayyad caliphates had expanded across the Middle East, North Africa, and Persia. Their armies were fast, disciplined, and led by commanders hardened by desert battles. Meanwhile, in Europe, the once proud Visigothic Kingdom of Spain was falling apart. Its kings were chosen by nobles, which meant constant rivalries, plots, and assassinations. Heavy taxes angered the population, and local governors often acted like independent rulers. Europe was weakened. The caliphate was rising. The collision was inevitable. The conquest didn't begin with a giant army or a grand strategy. It began with betrayal. In 710, a Spanish noble named Count Julian was furious with King Roderic. According to several accounts, Roderic wronged Julian's family, some say his daughter. For revenge, Julian made a shocking offer. "Come to Spain. Help me overthrow the king. I'll support your foothold in Europe." The Muslim governor of North Africa, Musa ibn Nusayr, was cautious. Spain was wealthy, but politically unstable. So he tested the situation by sending a small force. A few hundred Muslim troops landed on the southern coast. And to their surprise, the Spanish defenses barely reacted. This convinced Musa to authorize a much larger, more decisive mission. In April 711, a Berber general named Tariq ibn Ziyad led 7,000 soldiers across the narrow Strait of Gibraltar. That rock would later be named after him, Jabal Tariq, Gibraltar. A famous legend says that once Tariq arrived, he gave an order that shocked his men. He burned their ships and declared, "Behind you is the sea. Before you is the enemy. You have no choice but victory." Whether the story is myth or truth, the message was real. There was no turning back. King Roderic rushed south with a huge army, tens of thousands of soldiers. But his kingdom was divided. Many nobles refused to support him. Others secretly hoped for his defeat so they could seize power. The two armies met at the Battle of Guadalete. Tariq's forces fought with a combination of speed, mobility, and discipline. The Visigoths fought with heavy armor and slow movements. And then, betrayal struck again. Several Visigothic nobles abandoned Roderic during the battle. His empire collapsed in a single day. Roderic disappeared, likely killed, though his body was never found. With their king gone, Spain fell like dominoes. City after city surrendered without resistance. Some welcomed Muslim rule. Jews and lower-class Christians preferred the lighter taxes compared to the heavy Visigothic burden. Within months, Tariq captured Córdoba, Toledo, and Granada. He sent word back to Musa ibn Nusayr. Spain is open. Musa crossed with 18,000 more troops. Together, they completed one of the fastest conquests in medieval history. 7 years later, almost the entire Iberian Peninsula was under Muslim rule. The new territory was called Al-Andalus. 4 major reasons explain the shocking speed of the conquest. 1. A kingdom already in collapse. Spain was bleeding internally, civil war, corruption, and power struggles. 2. Superior Muslim military tactics, light cavalry, fast strikes, coordinated command, perfect for Spain's terrain. 3. Local support. Many communities preferred Muslim rule over Visigothic oppression. 4. Unity versus division. The Muslim forces operated under a single strategy. The Visigoths fought among themselves. This wasn't a battle of religions. It was the triumph of strategy, timing, and political opportunity.
We must secure the northern pass before dawn. Their forces will be weakest there. Agreed, but we should also reinforce the eastern flank to prevent any counterattack.
What followed the invasion was not destruction, but transformation. Al-Andalus became one of the most advanced societies in medieval Europe. Libraries that held hundreds of thousands of books, scholars who translated Greek, Persian, and Indian knowledge. Advances in medicine, mathematics, and astronomy. Architectural masterpieces like the Alhambra and the Great Mosque of Córdoba. Europe's later Renaissance was influenced heavily by knowledge preserved and expanded in Muslim Spain. The Muslim invasion of Europe wasn't simply a religious war. It was a convergence of ambition, betrayal, opportunity, and timing. A small army crossed the sea and changed the destiny of a continent. This is the legacy of 7/11, a moment that reshaped Europe forever. This was episode 1 of our series on history's greatest invasions. If you want episode 2, the Mongols' invasion of Baghdad, the Viking invasion of England, the Crusader siege of Jerusalem, or the fall of Constantinople, tell me in the comments. Click the thumbnail above to watch episode 2 if available. Please take a second to like and subscribe to support our channel. Thanks for watching.